Afternoon, Ira. How you doing? Good.
Coach, overall first impressions of camp? How'd it look out there?
A lot of recall from minicamp and OTA, so that was good. We were fast. We got to be smarter. Obviously, it's the first day, but very pleased with everything.
Julio Jones, the team just made his signing official. Just your overall thoughts on bringing him aboard this squad?
Well, he's still a good football player. We got to replace Gronk's catches, so we got an extra weapon, especially in the red zone and out in the field, and we're going to put him to use. It gives us a chance to be more creative in some of the things we do, and we're happy to have him.
Coach, where is Chris Godwin now, and when do you expect him to do something on the field?
Chris has been working like crazy. He's getting better every day. We don't have a timetable yet, but when he comes out, we'll be happy to have him come out. But he's a diligent worker, and we're pleased where he is.
Maybe you expected this, but it seems on the injury front to be a lot of good progress. To see Levante out there, to see some of the other guys that were held out. Maybe please just how well the guys have come back healthy.
Yeah, it's been good. They worked on their off time during vacation. A lot of guys worked. They came in and they worked out pretty good, so we're happy with that.
You mentioned red zone. Gronk, really, actually, all your tight ends, heavy usage in the red zone there. Was that something like a key factor for you guys in looking at these new additions, like how we got like Julio Jones production in the red zone?
No, they're more or less good football players. Tight ends get a lot of balls because you're doubling the wide receivers, so that's a natural thing. But these two guys are good football players in their own right, whether it's in the field or in the red zone.
Anybody not show up today, Todd, that you expected?
Everyone's here.
Circling back to OTAs and minicamp, you mentioned Devin Tompkins, that you were going to have an eye on him. Has he already started to impress you, even though it's just day one?
Day one, not yet. I got to look at the film. Right now, we're just running around getting acclimated again. We're going to ramp up so we're getting pads and everything's going to really start up. But mentally, he's been doing his job, so I'm happy with that.
Todd, what do you expect realistically for Julio to come in and do? Obviously, new team, he wasn't with you in this offseason, so now that's official, if he can start tomorrow, like what in terms of like speeding him up in his process, what do you expect out of him?
He's got to learn the system, number one. He's been in a bunch of systems right now. He's a pro. He's going to learn it. It's probably just the terminology. And his health has been an issue in the past, and he's healthy right now. So we're going to monitor that and keep it up and make sure he can help us.
There's a lot of talk in the summer about Leonard Fournette's conditioning. How do you think he looked today, first day back?
Leonard looked good. I don't know too many players in the offseason that's going to stay in shape year-round. As long as they're in shape in training camp, he ran great in the test yesterday. He's explosive, he's quick, and we're happy with him.
This is day one, but how are the players kind of faring with the heat? Because I know that's always a thing, especially with the newer players.
Well, today's been a little breezy, so this has been a good day. You can talk to me in about 5 or 6 days, I'll have a better answer for you.
What was your message to the team before you guys started practice today?
Just focusing on the details, having some recall from OTAs and minicamp, playing smart because we're at the pads on the first day, and understanding, although we're competing, we have to understand we're on the same team, so we're not going to tolerate too much fighting and fist fighting and everything, but I thought the guys did a good job of handling practice today.
How would you say they approach things from an attitude standpoint?
The attitude's been great. We got a lot of leaders in that locker room, coaches as well, so the attitude's been great, and we don't have a problem with that.
What was it like for you, Todd, shifting your focus between defense and offense?
It's always on defense, so I can see things on offense and point things out if I have to, but I'm a defensive coach. Byron runs the offense. When it's time to manage things and do things, I have a lot of people in my ear. I trust myself to make the right decision.
How's Russell Gage moving around right now for you?
Russ looks great. He came back in great shape, and we're happy to have him moving.
What organizational changes have you made, philosophical, managerial, since your time with the Jets, now as head coach of the Bucs?
We might be here for 24 hours. It's just a matter of understanding what you're getting before it happens. When you're a first-time head coach, no matter what they tell you, there are some things that's going to happen that you're going to have to deal with, that you're not sure about making decisions that you have to make them on. Understanding and having seen everything, understanding my strengths, my weaknesses, understanding everybody around me. It's different because I've been here for 3 years, and I didn't have to build a staff and then get acclimated to the building or anything else like that. So that part, from a camaraderie standpoint, that's been great. So it really feels like it hadn't changed for me.
Does it feel, I would assume, maybe like light years ahead when you say you're not building a staff? It's almost like so much is the same. So when you go back to that first week maybe with the Jets or your first training camp? I mean, how much more comfortable and easier does this feel when you don't spend the time having to build those things?
I think I was comfortable then. It's just a matter of having to redo a playbook, teaching coaches what you want and how they want it done, and going through that whole thing. We've all been together for a while now, if not just here, just other places, so it's a lot easier from a continuity standpoint, and we have great leaders as coaches on our staff, so that helps out a lot.
There was already a competitive wide receiver room, and you have guys, good football players on that side, so why this late did you feel, was it Godwin's help? What made you feel like you needed to add a Julio Jones on the eve of training camp?
If you look at last year, we got beat up pretty good in the receiver room, and we kind of limped to the finish line at the end. So if you wait till mid-season, you're not going to get a good football player. You're going to be grabbing guys. So Jason's very smart. We're going to do the smart thing and try to get a lot of depth now, so we don't have to stumble or hit a rock on the way trying to win some ball games. And we got people that can step in that know how to play.
Todd, you mentioned that Julio was healthy coming in. He didn't get to practice a lot last year in Atlanta and even last year with the Titans. How crucial is that to get him and Tom on the same page?
I think it's very crucial to get on the same page as the quarterback. You know, we'll see about the reps as he goes, but if he can get on the same page, and I know he's a pro and he's a heck of a guy, just talking to him out there and playing against him, we can get him on the same page. You know, you don't have to spell anybody. You know, if Mike and Chris come out and Russ and Julio go in, or we run 3 wides or 4 wides or whatever we do over there, it's an added luxury, and we still have young guys that can still play, that got to compete too. So we have a lot of competition this camp, probably more than we've had since I've been here. And it's when you become a good team, you're going to have a lot of competition, so there's going to be some tough decisions to be made.
How does Devontae look for you? How's he moving around?
He's moving around fine. He's healthy. He looks the same.
There's no replacing Rob Gronkowski, right? Future Hall of Famer. But what does Kyle Rudolph bring to your team?
He brings intelligence, he brings toughness, he brings savvy, and he's played the game for a while, so he gives us an extra guy. He can block, he can catch the ball. He's a very, like I say, you're not going to replace Gronk. We got to do that in a variety of ways, whether it's running back, the other tight ends, the receivers. We got to replace his catches in other ways, but he brings us a veteran presence, understanding the ball game, and he learns fast, so he'll help us on Sundays.
Still fast enough?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he looks good.
Other teams are dealing with legal issues, contract issues, distractions. How thankful are you to have this camp and have a total focus on football?
That's a great job by the front office, you know, getting these guys signed up and getting them in. You don't have to worry about that stuff, and nobody has to read anything about somebody holding out, and we've got continuity going in. We just got to keep that up and build culture and chemistry in this camp. I think we'll be fine.
That, you know, Bruce would run 2 practice fields with the younger guys or the other guys at the same time. So what's your philosophy in terms of just having 1 practice field and everybody concentrating on that?
Normally I like 2 practice fields, but a lot of guys got a lot of work in phase 2 and OTAs that were younger, and we were a little short at tight end for a little while, so going 2 fields kind of put a damper on it. We realized how long the season was last year, so 1 field would probably be better, ramping these guys up as opposed to going full bore before we get rolling. These guys run out of gas in the middle of the season.
On the defensive side of the ball, you made some additions in D-line, in the secondary. On paper, is this the most talented defense you've fielded since you've been here in 2019?
Since I've been here, it's been close. I mean, JPP and Sue were talented. It's hard to replace those 2 guys as well. Jordan was talented. We had a defense in Dallas that was pretty good back in 07, I want to say, 06, 07. That was very good. But, again, talent doesn't mean nothing if the chemistry doesn't come together. But all of them work hard, and they're getting to know each other, so we expect that to grow every week.
Speaking of competition, how did Kyle Trask look to you today?
Kyle's been working hard. Kyle works his tail off. He's getting it down. He's more confident because he's getting more reps, and the more he plays, the more confident he looks, and we'll get a good look at him this preseason, but I'm happy with his progress.
Coach, there's got all over the defensive and offensive side of football. One area that might be a little shallow is outside linebacker, edge rusher. Is that an area you're looking to maybe add to through free agency, and how have you been impressed by Elijah Ponder's transformation?
Well, we got 4 guys that can play right now that have played, in Joe and Shaq and Nelson and in Cam. Ponder's reshaped his body to go from a defensive lineman to an outside backer. He's dropped a lot of weight. He looks good coming off the edge right now. again, we're not looking to add, but if something falls in our lap that we think can help us and fit right in without messing up the chemistry, we'll take a look at it.
Speaking of which, you mentioned that Leonard looks good and everything. Do you feel right now that his body composition is where it needs to be, or are you wanting to see him up a little bit? What are your thoughts?
I feel like he's in great shape right now. Obviously, everybody can get in a little better shape. You don't want to come into camp in tip-top shape. You want to get in some better shape, playing shape as you get into camp. So that naturally is going to drop about 4 or 5 pounds. Not just him, but we have several guys like that, which is only natural. But as far as running the ball and playing in games, he can play right now.